Okay,
Welcome everybody to the Saturday afternoon wine ambassador training. You are going to be treated greatly today. We have our MSI Peter Morley, who is going to share his favorite part about this wine ambassador company, which also happens to be my favorite part, Peter. Thank you for doing what you're about to do, and everybody get ready to take some notes. This stuff is good. Take it away, bud.
okay, perfect. So as I was thinking of what to talk about this week, I just, wine pairings always amaze me. Okay. I'm not a complete expert. So, you MSIs, if you want to chime in at any time, please do. But I really think that this is because we're at a wine of the month club, Discovery Wine of the Month Club, right? I thought it'd be fun and educational to talk about some different wine pairings. And so I wanted to start off with our Cabernet. I'm gonna go through 4 different wines today. I was looking through my arsenal, which is depleting, which is sad. But the ones I really like are the Cabernet Sauvignon. We've got a Antoinou and a Donna. We also have the Merlot, which is the Rickard, of course. And I wanted to touch on the Pinot Noir, which is obviously the Nile. And if you haven't tried it, it's awesome. And then the last one is the Chardonnay, which is the Freedom, which is I really didn't enjoy white wines until I joined this Wine of the Month Club. And that Freedom it's ridiculous. It's awesome. And it goes with a lot of different things. So we're going to get going here. And I'm going to start off with the Cabernet Sauvignon. And I did some research, obviously, because I'm not a sommelier. I don't even know how to say that word. And I'm not an expert. And if I don't go to a restaurant and have them pair it, I just really, I'm learning. And that's what this whole club's all about, right? So the Cabernet Sauvignon, and hopefully I don't trip up too much because I'm reading off my other screen, but the Cabernet Sauvignon mainly pairs well with all red meats, right? I think we all know that right off the bat. I mean, but there's also a couple different styles of the Cabernet. There's the softer one, and then there's the New World Cabernet that has more intense flavors, and then there's the younger Cabernet that has more sweeter tannins in it, right? And so depending on which one is where you want to start learning how to pair with what you're doing. So the mellower or the younger one pairs well with. I'm going to start with just some. It pairs well with garlic, rosemary, mint, and mushrooms, right? And I think that's important because if you're making a meal and you're thinking about what seasonings you're going to use, then that's something that may be important to you. So, of course, we're going to move on. Cabernet pairs well with all types of steaks, basically. The meatier, the better, and we all know that. And actually, the less cooked, right? You don't want to overcook your steak with this Cabernet. It also goes well with a burger. Any type of good burger, you're going to really, really pick up on some good flavors with the Cabernet. Obviously, if we're talking about meat, we're talking about steaks. It pairs well with short ribs, braised or otherwise, barbecued. Also a roasted lamb or grilled lamb. So basically, the Cabernet goes well with grilled or braised meats. Okay, and I thought that was really interesting. And and it also goes well with portobello mushrooms. I didn't even think about that, and I love mushrooms. So anything to do with portobello mushrooms. Now, I also enjoy, and I know a lot of people in this club, especially like Rory and Niall, enjoy cheeses, right? So I wanted to make sure I threw some cheese pairings in there. And what I found is that the Cabernet goes well with blue cheese and even Gorgonzola, right? And I'm sure you can find other cheeses that will go well with the Cabernet, but that's just a suggestion. And like we say, this is a discovery club, so get out and discover what cheeses go well with that. Niall, did you say that you like the? I know Rory likes the Merlot with chocolate, but I can't remember if you said. I thought you said that.
Yeah, the Pinot Noir was almost as good as the Merlot with a piece of dark chocolate.
Oh,
it was amazing.
But the Cabernet, do you think that may go well with some chocolate?
Well, probably would, because it's like right in between the two, I think.
Yeah. So I wouldn't hesitate to have your dessert with a Cabernet, a chocolate cheesecake or something, or even a chocolate pudding. I don't know.
I like to experiment with a lot of different stuff, Peter. I understand the acidities and the sweetness and the dryness and all that stuff, and we can all look up what would go best with this wine. And sometimes there's enough hints in the suggestions they give. Well, if that would work, this would too. Well, if that would work, this would too. So I like to mix things up and try new things. And I was going to open up a bottle of Merlot because Steph got me a great big old hunk of dark chocolate, but I already had the Pinot Noir opened, and I went, let's find out. You never know. Someone might ask someday. And it was good.
Yeah. And I think that's what's so fun about our wines, and the I guess we have the variety, right? We always get 4 bottles, and I just think it's fun to discover what different things. I mean, you may not like what it goes with. You may say, oh, that didn't really taste very well, but now you know. Okay, so I'm just giving some suggestions, and then you guys go your own little direction, right? Okay, so we're going to move on to the Merlot. Okay, and this is one of my favorite wines. This is actually the first. Merlot was the first wine that I really, really liked, and I used to have it with all my meals, and I liked it. But I mean, we're talking about pairings today. So, and Merlot, it's a good wine because it pairs with a multiple types of different cuisines or foods or whatever you want to say, right? But there's a couple of different. Merlot has different blends, right? So Merlot is blended with Cabernets and Cabernet Sauvignon, awesome, and also Bordeaux and so on. So we've got our medium-bodied Merlot, and we have a full-bodied Merlot, and those are the two most popular types. There's also a lighter bodied, but the most popular ones are the medium bodied, and those are the full bodied. And those are the ones you're going to find probably in our arsenal, as well as if you go out to a restaurant and find it. So, and they pair differently with different things, right? So the medium body pairs well with Italian sausage. I love Italian sausage. I think that's, and I didn't know that. Spaghetti and meatballs, right? Everybody has spaghetti. Who doesn't eat spaghetti and meatballs? So that Merlot is going to pair well with our spaghetti and meatballs, right? The lasagna. We were talking about that in one of the other trainings, lasagna, pizza. I mean, it goes well with the stuff you make daily, right? Goes well with macaroni and cheese. I found that very interesting, and I want to try that because the last time I had macaroni and cheese, I think I paired it with with the Pinot, which also is great, but I think that would be interesting to try that. It also goes well with meatloaf, goes well with burgers, especially the cheeseburgers for some reason. Spicy dishes, goes well with spicy dishes. Any smoked dishes, even smoked ham. And we're coming up on Thanksgiving, and so I found in a couple different places that they are saying it goes well with turkey. So you know, it'd be interesting to hear, or maybe I'll try it this Thanksgiving. You know, see how well it goes with turkey, because I know a lot of people think that the Chardonnay is what you do with turkey, but it's a good thing to try. Okay, so any mild cheese goes well with it as well, and obviously, well, not obviously, but you know, even blackened salmon, seared or blackened salmon, braised short ribs. Try it with braised short ribs, chicken, pork, rabbit. And you know, the other fun thing that I like to do is I like to try my wines with different fruits as well as cheeses. So apricots and prunes, if anybody's an apricot or prune fan. Okay, so the full-bodied Merlots, I mean, we're basically in the same area of the food pairings, but thyme and rosemary go well with a fuller body Merlot. Those are the herbs, I guess. So you're looking at your grilled chops, your veal, your pork and lamb, steak, obviously, and then anything in a red sauce, Merlots will go well with. A beef Wellington.
Saying that earlier for you: veal Parmesan, eggplant Parmesan. Anything with sauce and the cheese, a strong cheese, and anything Italian, right?
Yeah, anything Italian, absolutely. I was at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant in Las Vegas last week, and they highly suggested the beef Wellington. We weren't having wine at the time, but I didn't try it because the people I were with said it's bland. You're not going to like it. But anyway, beef Wellington. You know, any mushroom sauce would go well with a Merlot. I mean, Merlot is so versatile, right? Like I said, it's the first wine that I ever really liked. And then roast chicken, obviously turkey, and even roast duck. So did I cover it? Did I get any cheeses in there? Oh, any mild or medium cheese is what they suggest, right? Any mild or medium cheese, nothing too strong for the Merlots. I think the stronger cheeses are more towards the Cabernet, right? Okay, so now, and that was the Merlots. Obviously, the only one that I've tried from our thing is the Rickard, which obviously I love. I think everybody loves it. So the next one is the Pinot Noir, and the Nile is the one that I have, which is delicious. And this one's a very versatile wine as well, right? And it matches with almost all types of meat and fish. And although the Merlot is really versatile, I think the Pinot is even more versatile, if you ask me. And because you can have it as a kind of a, and are we supposed to chill the Pinot? That's the one thing I didn't write down. Do you know that, Stacy?
I prefer mine room temperature, but that mainly because I got ridiculed once for putting a red in the refrigerator.
I think it's different for everybody. It tastes, some like room temperature, some like chilled, Peter. But I remember Peter Antonio sharing that process with us, because you can chill it too long, right? Or not long enough. And he said reds, you want to, one of them was leave it in the cooler to have it a couple degrees below and then take it out 10 minutes before you serve. And one was just put it in there 10 minutes before you serve. I think it was the reds you put in. Rory, back me up on this one. Reds you just chill for 10 minutes and then open it and pour. And the whites you could keep in a cooler to keep below room temperature, but then take it out of the cooler 10 minutes before you serve it.
Yeah, I can't remember if someone said that right around 70 degrees is, and I guess that would be room temperature. But we didn't talk about decanting, which I guess I thought about earlier, but I forgot. But the reds you definitely want to decant if you can for 30 minutes or so. And that brings out the flavors in it better, and it'll help with the food taste, the taste of the food with the wine. So anyway, okay. Okay, so let's see. Here we are. So some of the favorite pairings that I found with the Pinot, and they always talk about it. It depends on the maturity of the wine, whether it's a younger wine or an older wine. And I think that's, well, it's a little bit over my head, but at the same time, I'm sure that they're going to taste well with this, no matter if they're older or younger, right? So that we're talking about grilled quail, pulled pork. That really sounds good. A pulled pork sandwich with a Nile Eddy, absolutely. Seared tuna or salmon. That surprised me a little bit because I'd never thought about salmon and tuna with a Pinot, but now that I think about it, it actually sounds really, really good. It really does, right? All types of barbecue. That makes sense to me, and it goes along with the pulled pork thing. And then now we go into the roast chicken, rack of lamb, and even turkey, right? So now we have two different things we can have in Thanksgiving that we may never have had before. We could have the Pinot, the Nile Pinot, or we could have the Merlot, and see how that tastes. A mushroom risotto. If you're brave enough to try to make it a risotto, then this would go well with it. Grilled lobster. I know everybody's mouth's watering right now, right? Grilled lobster, mushroom risotto. That sounds like a meal in itself. Any glazed hams, right? And now the Pinot goes well with any mild any mild cheese, especially a blue cheese, a brie cheese, or a gorgonzola cheese. Now I think this would go well with a Gouda too. I love Gouda cheese, anything with Gouda. And this is a refreshing, to me, this is more of a refreshing wine. So I also think it would go well with almost any fruit, especially like a strawberry, or, you know, peaches would go well with it as well. So, okay. All right. So that's what I have with the Nile. And I know, Nile, this might be dear to your heart. So do you got anything to interject there? Your name's on it.
I'm sorry, I was writing that page. I heard that it's near to my heart. And what?
Well, I'm talking about the Nile Eddy. So
yeah,
anything you might want to interject, because I know this has got your name on it.
Well, one, it's probably, and of course I want to be a little biased, but it's got to be the best Pinot Noir I've ever had in my life. I've always loved the Pinot grapes, both red and white, but this Pinot Noir, which I would say Merlot or a Cab Sav was always my favorite red, has become my new favorite red. And not just because it's got my name on it, the taste in the front and the taste in the back, the finish, everything about it is just delicious. And it goes with, I think you touched on a second ago, so many different things. I would have never thought dark chocolate. If I was going to have dark chocolate, I would have had the Merlot with it. But when I tried it with the Pinot Noir, now I could have dark chocolate with either. So whichever one's open is what I'm going to pour with my dark chocolate. But it went with just about every Italian dish, every meat, a burger with like bacon and smoked cheese on it. Everything that we've tried to pair that thing with, it was perfect. I don't know if I should admit this, I even made Salen's hot dogs and covered it with some spicy chili. And I said, you know what? Just bring me the decanter that's in the fridge right now. I'm going to pour it and try it with these hot dogs. And I might even have done that on a Facebook Live during a football game or something. And Peter, it went with the hot dogs with the spicy ginger chili on top of the hot dog. It just seemed to make it so versatile as well as such a good taste. Even standalone on the Wine and Dine show when I'm not eating, it's just a great taste. So anytime with just about anything, especially smoked fish, smoked cheese, anything strong like that.
Yeah, and you know what I've found too is our wines are so good. We're not the $10 bottle of wine that you get at this store. Those don't go well. You're not going to find that they go well with everything that I'm talking about, right? They may not go well. You'll be eating a piece of chocolate and you're like, yeah, this Pinot doesn't go well with this. But our wines are so good and they're made the right way that these wines do go well with a lot of different things. And that's why we say discover, take a chance, take a leap. Try it with something different, because you're going to find that you're going to enjoy something that you never thought you would, because you've been drinking those punch wines for so long, right? And I think that's kind of the whole point of what we're doing, besides the obvious. Okay, so we're going to move on to the Chardonnay, which is, like I said, I was not a white wine fan until I tasted this Freedom, and it's really one of my favorite wines. I've been saving it for months for the perfect meal with some friends that hope we're going to have soon. But there's different styles of wine of Chardonnay. There's the younger Chardonnays, there's the fruitier, there's the full-bodied, and the matures. And I just keep going back to, I understand the different types, but our wines just kind of go well with almost everything. So, but obviously the white wines and even the rosés, and I'm not going to cover the rosés today, but they go with lighter, more delicate foods, right? That's what they're aimed for. That's the whole pairing suggestion. And we're talking, think about our Chardonnay Freedom with some shellfish, a nice king crab, which sounds delicious, prawns, lobster, basically any types of fish. But the ones that are more delicate, not the blackened or whatever. You may want to try it with the blackened fish, but at the end of the day, I think it would just be perfect with the fish cooked in a poached fish in a butter sauce or something like that. And obviously your chicken, goes well with that. Any pasta with a cream sauce, not really a red sauce, but a cream sauce would go fantastic with this. Risottos, like I said, if you're bold enough to cook a risotto, then I would also try this. Any chicken or pork is the white meat. And then, I think this would be delicious with any type of fruit, melon, peaches, mango, and then the cheese, all sorts of cheeses, cheddar. Stacy and I were talking about that this morning. Cheddar cheese and even Gouda. So that's how versatile that's the versatile part of how we compare our wines. And like I said, I just went over some stuff that I found doing some research, and basically that's not all that you can pair these with. Don't think that's it. You could keep going. Do some research on your own. See what you want to cook tonight, and pull your favorite bottle out of your wine cellar and enjoy it. And I think that's what I have for tonight, unless you guys have anything
You know, I just did a little pairing the other week when David had a dinner with business, and I didn't want to cook. So I made a bag of microwave popcorn and paired it with the Moonlight Sonata Chardonnay. And it was actually really good. It was like all of a sudden both were gone.
That's awesome. I know. Just imagine what we can do with our wines. And I do want to say this one more time. Our wines are so good that you can get away with pairing it with a popcorn or something. You couldn't get away with the 7-Eleven bottle of wine with the popcorn. I promise you that.
Well, and then now we were talking earlier about the cheddar cheese, and that was because one of my students, Mike, messaged out last night on our team chat. And do that, guys. You have your Skype chat. Say, hey, I'm cooking this. What's a great wine? You're going to learn because everybody's going to give you their input. And he was making grilled cheese sandwiches, and I asked, what kind of cheese? And then I said, well, with the buttery and everything, go with a Chardonnay.
Yeah, that's perfect, right? I think that's perfect.
And I haven't heard back from him yet. I don't know if he's still eating or... But you know, it's a lot of what I've done with my wines is I just play with it. You know, I even tried marinating chicken breasts with a Merlot.
Wow, that sounds interesting. Yeah.
The flavor was great. The color of the chicken breasts were lavender. So it looked like an Easter bunny was being cooked at my house. But it was really good. It was good flavor.
You should never play with your food, though.
Now, I did make some of the other MSI's co-hosts here so they can freely unmute. I was trying to get as many as possible.
Yeah, Linda, Nell, what's your favorite wine and what do you love to pair it with? Or what have you tried that we probably wouldn't think of that you did try?
Well, my favorite wine is Chardonnay, but I have been trying some of the reds. I do like the Ricard Merlot and the Nile. I haven't tried Donna yet. I do have that, but I haven't tried it yet. That Moonlight Sonata is the favorite in my house right now. So, but we drink whatever's open with. And I don't know why they have wine stoppers. I've not figured out what those are for because I never have a use for those. And people have given me those and I can't figure out what they're for. So that's my story.
It doesn't sound very nice, does it? Wine stopper, like it's going to stop the flow of that wine. I don't like the sound of it.
I can't figure that out, but that's my 2 cents.
Okay, when you say playing with your food, I like to play with my food. So, so the same goes with wine. I mean, you like what you like, so you're not going to know what you like until you try it. That's how you come up with. Use your imagination. That's where you come up with something you like and something that pairs well. That's my theory.
Yeah, think about when you go to a restaurant and you're trying a dish that you didn't ever think existed, right? That's because the chef is back there playing with his food, trying to figure out what goes well with this type of vegetable and what goes well with this type of rice or whatever, herbs and so on and so forth. So they're doing the same thing. They're actually trying to pair something with something different. And a lot of times, obviously, because they're chefs, it works out well. They know what they're doing, but we can still do that and we can still have fun, right? So I just think that's a good way to put that, Shar. You know, play around.
Well, on the call on the Wine and Dine on Tuesday, as I get older, sweets don't set well, especially overly sweet things. So when I paired with the Pinot, it took a lot of that sweetness out and it leveled it. So I could actually handle eating what I was doing, what I was baking. It was cheese, it was the brie, but it was that caramel sauce that I made with the pecans that was overly sweet for me. So that's another thing too. When you're thinking about, when you're making something, think about what the strong flavor is going to come through, which in that instance was the sweetness, and that Pinot just evened it out. So it made it a lot better.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's really interesting. And one thing that just came to my mind is that, you know, if you're not an expert, you don't know about tannins, you don't know about all the other ingredients in the wine, just have a taste of it. And your brain will tell you, it'll go in the direction of where you want to go with that wine, right? We don't have to be experts in all the ingredients in the wine. Our brains will tell us where it wants to go. That's what I do.
And that's the fun part about this Discovery Club. That's exactly what it is. We're learning something all the time.
Well, you know, when Peter, you were saying about dark chocolate and Pinot Noir, I went back to Wednesday night and that dessert that Sheila made with all that chocolate and the Cool Whip. And then I go back a few more weeks and Miss Carol McIntyre had made a similar deep chocolate, dark chocolate dessert. And it's like, yeah, with the Pinot. Mm-hmm. And I was just wondering, would tiramisu, what kind of wine would you guys choose to pick with a tiramisu as a dessert?
I would do either the Nile or the Rickard. That's what I would do, for sure. For sure.
I think I would do a Sauvignon Blanc. That's my opinion. So we're all different.
We're all different.
I won't agree with Char on the Blanc. As much as I love that Pinot Noir. But a tiramisu, I think I'm going to go with the Blanc too, yeah.
I just had to throw it out because no one's made that at any of our wine and dines yet. But
there's a
not that I'm volunteering.
Well, the Blanc, and my second choice. My second choice would probably be the Pinot Grigio, Char.
Yeah, or a rosé even.
Mm.
I would.
Yeah.
Let's try them all.
All right.
That's what we're here for. Delicious and nutritious. So.
And with the holidays coming up, getting all these ideas now, we can all start planning because we're all probably either going to be at someone's house and need to bring something or having people at your house and want to have some munchies of some sort, but not just have it be a bag of chips. Now you can cut up some meats and cheeses and fruits and have a few different bottles of wine out there to experiment with and get other people's input.
This will be a first for us, Stacy, but I'm actually going to be at my daughter's house for Thanksgiving dinner. She said, Dad, I want to host, I want to cook, I want to do everything. And I said, ooh, even the turkey and the stuffing, you don't want Dad to do that? And she said, well, you can make whatever you want, but I want to host, I want to do most of the cooking. I said, okay, great. So you know what I'm taking?
It's time to pass the torch, Niall.
Yeah, it's time to pass the torch. But I'm taking 4 Pinot Noirs with me to her house, and she'll probably hide one, and we'll open the other 3 around the table. Maybe I should take a couple rosés or something for dessert, Char. You're right.
Well, I'm going to go out to New Jersey to my daughter's in-laws. They are Polish and Irish, and she told me that their Thanksgiving dinner isn't the traditional Thanksgiving dinner that we have. So I'm not really sure what kind of wine. I'm supposed to bring the wine, but I'm not really sure what kind of wine to take.
One of each. One of each.
Well, Peter suggested the Merlot for the turkey, so I'm definitely going to take that. But I'm not sure what kind of foods a Polish, Irish Thanksgiving is going to entail. She says there's no green bean casserole there.
Sauerkraut. Sauerkraut, maybe.
Polish sausages, kielbasa.
Yeah, well, just
Polish sausage and the pierogies. And pierogies are, basically cabbage and sauerkraut and the Polish sausage and look it up here. It's pulling it up right now.
Sounds like a Merlot needs to go with.
And a bunch of stuff that I can't even pronounce. No.
So
that's for Polish. The Irish.
That's corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah, it's corned beef, cabbage. Also Irish stew, bacon, cabbage, box beef, soda bread, coddle and cold cannon, whatever those two things are. Coddle and cold cannon. Rory, jump on here and tell us what coddle and cold cannon is.
Nope. He's ignoring us.
He's probably on the phone. Yeah.
I just got that St. Patrick's Day in my last shipment. That would be a good one.
I haven't opened my October wines yet, so yeah, that's a good idea.
Sorry, it's in there.
That's okay. That's a good idea. I'll take that. They would be impressed with that.
I peeked in Steph's box. She got one too.
Okay.
So another good way to learn is to, if you don't go to the Wine and Dine on Wednesdays, that's where we also discover different pairings. Peter Antonio is there and he lets us know what goes well with what. And it's good information. It's a lot of fun. So if you don't go to Wednesday Wine and Dine, it's been fun. So join us.
And this week's secret ingredient is?
Yeah, it's carrot.
Carrots.
But I'm not.
What's the wine for Wednesday night?
Peter is introducing. Hold on, let me pull that up.
A good one.
It's actually the Ricard Merlot, the Grand Cru Ricard.
Grand Crus. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent day. I know what I'm having for dinner and I know what I'm having for dessert.
And the day before Thanksgiving, I'm not going to tell you that yet.
Excellent day. Peter Morley, thank you so much for sharing everything you've done, man. Awesome. And I think food pairing is probably my favorite topic.
Good. I think it's everybody's. We're just trying to learn, right? We just want to pair those with good food. So
I know I took a lot of notes because I'm still learning. So I was writing crazy, but then I've got for Thanksgiving this year, our youngest son and his girlfriend are coming down from Minnesota and she is new to wine liking. So I'm going to have a variety of cheeses out for sure.
She's new to wine and is she meeting mom for the first time?
Oh, no.
Okay. She's safe.
No. Yeah. No, we know Emmy. She's tolerated my son for almost 2 years. She's good.
Oh, great. Yeah.
I'm hoping because they come in on Monday that they'll come and join in on the Wine and Dine on Wednesday.
Well, the good thing is you're starting them off with the right wines, so not the wines. And that's a big difference. It really is a big difference. It's insane. Yep.
All right. Thanks again, Peter. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Nell. Thank you, Shar. Thank you, Rory and Tanya Rickard. Thank you, Brett Hudson. Thank God for grapes. Let's go ahead and we got some people up there to ask some questions too. I'll stop the recording and we'll answer some questions. What do you think?
Sure.
Yeah.